welcome, welcome, welcome. It is lovely to see so many familiar faces, new faces. If this is your first yin practice, my invitation is to allow yourself to be nurtured and nourished by whatever feels right in your body. Always know that I am just a guide. So take what serves you, leave the rest. Tonight, in particular, we are here to practice with this energy of the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, right? The longest night, this place where we balance what was dark and then we start to add light. And this is a beautiful time to honor, to allow the whole, right? All of you, which includes darkness and shadows, and create space for light. And the one place where we always have access to light is within us. Sometimes we forget. We're so good at looking for illumination from all the places. And so to begin tonight, I'm going to actually light a candle. This is a release candle by my friend Deb of Enchanted Botanicals. And I'm going to invite you as we kind of come into this moment and this circle to breathe in to what's been here for us. And at the end of our practice, we'll extinguish what we're ready to release so that we can create even more space. So as you're getting comfortable, just take a moment and we'll sit upright. You can have a blanket or pillow underneath the hips to just help the hip flexors and the body settle in. For those of you that are paying attention to leopard print, yes, these are new and they may or may not be pajama pants. I'm not ashamed. They're comfy. So allow the hips to settle in, the body to find ease, whatever that might feel like. There's no force or effort here. Your comfortable, easy seat can look like whatever you need it to look like. The hands can be light. And for just a moment, keep the eyes open and watch as we spark this particular candle. And find an inhale here. Breathe in with the flicker of this candle. Let that inhale move through you. And then experience the exhale as it moves through the body. Without force here, receive that inhale and experience the exhale. We'll do that one more time, just like that. Receive that inhale through the nose. And release that exhale in whatever way feels right to you. Invite the eyes to close. And pause here. Allow the breath to breathe you. Notice. Notice the feet and the legs. Notice the hips and the pelvis. Notice the belly, the heart, the space around the chest. Bring awareness to the shoulders, the tops of the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the hands. Allow your attention to gently move towards the tailbone and follow the spine up from the tailbone to the mid-back, in between the shoulder blades, all the way up to the base of the neck. Feel the back of the skull here, the crown of the head. And as you get to know this body that's here with you on this particular evening, the winter solstice, bring awareness to your heart. Perhaps place your left hand over your heart and your right hand to rest gently on top of it. Give yourself permission to notice the beat of your heart. And in that space, take a moment and cultivate gratitude for the wholeness of this last year, of this season, the moments big and small that have brought you here. And maybe allow your attention to gravitate towards one moment in particular that has offered you something to appreciate. Allow that gratitude to sprinkle itself around your heart, like you're adding nourishing soil to your garden. And in that space, we'll set an intention for our practice this evening. Perhaps it's this idea of allowing, honoring, going within. Perhaps there's something or someone else you'd like to dedicate your practice to. Whatever that intention is, we'll seal it with a big inhale, fill all the way up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Gently release the hands, flutter the eyes open. From here, we'll make a small adjustment. Bring the legs in front of you so that the soles of the feet come towards one another. You'll notice here that you might have, out of habit, drawn the heels really close to the pelvis. Notice that the knees might be really high when you do that. Give your bones permission to be supported here. So that might mean walking the feet out. You can even take a blanket or pillow and rest it underneath either knee or both, or blocks. When we support the bones in this practice, the muscles can relax and we can make space in that connective tissue. Allow the spine to be long for a moment, the hands light. Close the eyes. This might be where you stay. Pause here for a moment And notice what the body has to say in this particular moment, in this particular shape. And then allow your heart to guide you here with your breath. Maybe that means to stay, or maybe that means to slowly walk the hands, maybe toward the knees or the shins, and then pause. The chin can move towards the chest. Allow the body to speak to you. We are often so quick to move through sensation, like we're often quick to move through darkness. But what if? What if there were sensations or moments to be experienced and felt? Maybe you stay there, or maybe the hands continue towards the ankles or the feet. The spine can round. Invite the palms to rest face up. And when you get to that place where the body has something to say to you, smile. And then find an open mouth exhale. This practice of yin invites us to find a shape, or rather let it find us, and then linger there, to let that shape be expressed through sensation, sometimes through emotion. It's like when you're outside at night and everything seems so dark, and then your eyes begin to adjust, and what you couldn't see becomes visible. Perhaps just in the shadows or shapes. Or maybe with clarity. Rumi writes, "If light is in your heart, you will find your way home." Can you let your breath and your heart guide you home in this shape? Notice your spine. Notice your thighs, the belly. Offer yourself an inhale here and an open mouth exhale. Linger here without needing to do or change anything. Allow gravity to support you, breath to nourish you. Invite in one more inhale here. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Slowly begin to walk the hands toward the ankles or the shins and pause. And then maybe to the shins or the knees. Eventually the hands find their way towards the thighs, the hips. Lengthen the spine here. Just notice what this feels like. Maybe open the arms, lift the gaze, take a breath in, let it go. Release the hands. If you had blocks or pillows or blankets underneath the knees, just set them to the side for a moment. And then gently find a crisscross shape. So the right shin comes in front of the left. And whatever variation feels right to you. They might be parallel-ish, they might not. Just notice how the hips feel and maybe give the hips a wiggle or two to invite them to be supported by the earth. This could be where you stay in the legs. Or see if the right ankle would like to rest on top of the left knee so that the right shin is on top of the left shin. This might feel accessible. It might not. You have options. You can take a blanket or pillow or block and put it underneath the right knee, or you can extend the left leg all the way out and create a figure four shape. Take a moment here to explore what the body is craving on this particular night and pause. The hands can be light. Just notice what came up for you in that transition. We didn't move very far, but we invited ourselves into a different moment, different expression, like turning a corner in a dark place. You're not sure what will be there. Maybe you stay here. Maybe the hips have already started to say hello. Or perhaps begin to walk the hands forward. You can come to the fingertips just in front of the shins and the ankles. You could even have a pillow or blanket in front of you to rest on that right shin or on the ground to bring the ground closer to you. Maybe you continue that exploration down to the forearms. If the forearms make it to the earth, bring the palms to touch. Find that expression of gratitude with the palms touching. The head can be heavy. And notice the breath, the in and out. Notice if there's a place in the body that feels perhaps like resistance. Invite the breath to travel there in an expression of allowing and honoring rather than fixing or changing. Notice if perhaps just in that honoring and allowing there is ease. This practice invites us in to self-discovery, to reflection, in the stillness, in the pause. We are invited to reflect, to be with. Is there a sensation or an emotion in the body that's asking for your attention? Can you offer it your breath? Maybe an open mouth sigh. Find a big inhale here. Open mouth, let it go. Slowly begin to walk the palms back toward the shins and the knees. And then the thighs. And pause when you find yourself lifted, not needing to rush. And then slowly and gently release that right leg. Bring the soles of both feet in front of you for a moment. And just in stillness, become aware of the right side of the body and the left side. And maybe wiggle or windshield wiper the legs side to side if that feels good. And then slowly invite yourself back to that easy seat, this time with the left shin in front of the right, or whichever shin wasn't in front last time. You might already notice that this side feels different. Our body, from the right side to the left, from one moment to the other, often has a mind of its own. So rather than insisting that one side feel the same, we get to allow here. So just notice what the hips need on this side, if the knees have anything to say, and know that all of those same options are available to you to stay here. In a moment, maybe to stack one shin over the other, or to find that figure four. But explore here without assumption that this side will be the same. Maybe bring that left ankle over the right knee and notice if the left knee feels supported or if it would benefit from the support of a blanket or pillow or block. Or if there's any pinching, give yourself permission to go back to that easy seat or to create that figure four. Pause here. And then decide, or let the heart decide, what exploration feels right here. Maybe the hands start to walk forward. You can tent the fingertips and just linger. Allow the body to be explored in the smallest of transitions. That's often where life presents itself, rather than the big moments. It's those small moves Those shadows that become illuminated one small sliver at a time. Maybe the hands continue until the forearms reach the earth or a pillow or blanket. And if it feels delicious, the palms can come together. Invite in an open mouth sigh. And allow your attention to move to the parts of your body that are speaking to you. Without judgment, without needing to label sensation as good or bad. Can you allow that sensation to be feedback? When the mind starts to travel, to wander, smile when you catch it, and guide it back to the breath. Just like sometimes in the dark, we have to stumble or move slowly to find our way. So too can we invite ourselves inward over and over again. What is here for you in this moment, in this shape? Find a big inhale and an open mouth exhale. Linger for another few moments. And slowly bring the hands back to the ground and begin to walk them gently toward the shins, the knee and the ankle, the thighs. And pause for a moment when you find the spine upright. Take a breath in. Let it go. Release that left leg from the top. Bring the soles of the feet to the earth. Just pause and notice. Maybe windshield wiper the legs side to side. And then we'll gently find our way into a tabletop shape. So you can remove your blanket. You may want to have it handy towards the top of the mat But bring yourself into that table shape where the hips are over the knees, shoulders over the wrists. And if it feels good, invite in a cat-cow here. Arch the spine, lift the gaze. And then round the spine, send the gaze toward the thighs. Explore whatever movements feel good in your body. And after your next exhale, bring the hips back in line with the knees. Invite them to stay there as the hands begin to walk forward. We'll explore our puppy shape. The forehead moves in the direction of the floor. If the mat feels far away, you can bring that pillow or blanket so that the earth is closer to you. The palms of the hands reach forward. The elbows can be lifted. Notice how that feels. Just take a moment here to explore small movements. And then linger, find one place. Maybe the elbows find the support of the ground. Or maybe they stay lifted. Greet sensation with your breath. Notice here the fingertips. Invite them to be light. So they're not gripping. Bring awareness to that space between the eyebrows at the forehead. Feel that point of contact with the earth. Notice the shoulders. Notice the heart. And explore whether or not you can send your breath to your belly on the inhale. And invite it to soften on the exhale. And as it softens, so too does the heart soften. Maybe the shoulders. Breathe. Can you allow the sensations in your body to be like dark corners that when you add light there, there's something you didn't notice before. Corners that aren't good or bad. Sensations that are a part of you rather than judgments. Find a big breath in here. Open mouth, let it go. Slowly begin to make your way all the way down onto the belly. You can create a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Stack one hand on top of the other and allow yourself to feel supported by the earth below you. You can wiggle the feet side to side, in and out. And then invite the feet to rest so that the heels reach out. Notice if the muscles in the legs want to engage. Send breath there. And slowly and gently guide your forearms to the earth. Option to have a pillow or blanket handy. Rest it towards the top of your mat. And for a moment here with the forearms on the ground, the elbows are give or take underneath the shoulders. You can walk the hands and the elbows a little bit forward or back if there's any pinching. And then give your heart and your chest permission to lower towards the ground for a moment and then to gently rise back up. Find a few moments here where you're lifting and lowering and move slowly enough to explore sensation. And when you find that spot that feels just right, that wants to be explored, that wants to be illuminated, stay there. The chin can fall towards the chest or the head can stay lifted, or you can take that pillow, blanket, or block and use it to support the forehead. Pause here. Allow the fingertips to be light. Invite the thighs to release any doing. Maybe the knees come back down to the ground if they were lifted. Invite the shoulders to melt. Perhaps the chest lifts. Find an inhale here. Let it go. Invite the breath to breathe you. And notice that that breath can travel all the way down to the belly. All by itself, doesn't need you to do anything. Then notice on the exhale, the softening, the ease, the lightness that's created. And in this shape, as the heart lifts, consider, where does your inner light live within you? Allow that light to show itself, to be expressed. Maybe it's a flicker or a small glow. Maybe it's bold and strong and bright. Observe that light. Receive it just as it is. Find an inhale here. Let it go. Slowly lower the head all the way down to the earth. Option to stay here laying on the belly, or gently guide yourself back to a child's pose. The knees can be wide, the forehead on the earth. The hands can be in front of you, or the palms can touch behind the skull, behind the base of the neck. Pause here and breathe for 2 or 3 rounds of breath. And then slowly release the hands. Lift yourself up just long enough to then lower yourself all the way back down onto your back. The invitation is to have a blanket or pillow on either side of the mat, but lie all the way down. And when you get there, maybe hug the knees in. Notice if the hips want to rock side to side or be still. And then gently release the left leg all the way down. Hug that right knee towards the outside edge of the body for a moment. And then take a breath in. Exhale, guide that right knee across the body over to the left. Maybe it finds the pillow or blanket for support. Maybe it's supported by gravity. Invite the right arm to be outstretched in line with the right shoulder. The gaze, with the eyes closed, in the direction of the right hand. And breathe. Allow this twist to be like an inner massage, creating space. Invite the breath to be received and experienced. Where do you notice that inner light in this shape? Where can you allow it to illuminate, to be expressed? slowly guide that right knee back to center. Give it a gentle squeeze, a thank you. And then release the right leg all the way down. Pause for a moment. Notice the right side of the body and the left side. And then in your own time, guide the left knee in. Give it a squeeze. Find an inhale. And exhale, slowly guide that left knee over to the right. The left arm extends out. Maybe that left knee is supported by a pillow or blanket, or it's held by gravity. The gaze is soft, your eyes closed in the direction of the left fingertips. Where might you create space on this side for illumination? For light? Maybe even for possibility. Find a big inhale here. Open mouth, let it go. Linger here for another few moments of breath. And slowly guide that left knee back to center. And then hug both knees in. You can wrap the arms around the shins or the thighs. Just take a moment here. And then slowly lower the feet down to the earth. Have a blanket or pillow handy. Allow the hips to feel supported, the soles of the feet to be supported, the skull. Option to stay here, or find that pillow or blanket or block and slowly lift the hips high enough to place that pillow or blanket or block underneath the tailbone, that place where we often have a label. You can give yourself a wiggle for a moment, maybe wiggle the shoulders. Maybe the hands rest by the sides, palms face up, or if it feels nourishing, the hands can stay on the belly. Breathe here. And invite the energy of the earth and of the sky to fill your heart. allow that inner light to grow. Maybe just even 10% brighter, bigger. Allow it to expand without force, but with patience, with gratitude. Find a big inhale here. Open mouth, sigh it out. Slowly and gently lift the hips just high enough to remove that pillow or blanket or block. And hug the knees in one more time. Take any last wiggles or movements. And then guide yourself into the most delicious version of Shavasana that your body can imagine. Maybe that's supporting the backs of your knees with a blanket or pillow. Maybe it's taking a blanket and resting it over the belly or the hips or behind the head. Give the body a few moments here to explore. And when you found that place of ease, we'll take one last breath here. Fill all the way up. Hold that breath in. Open mouth, let it all go. In that release, relinquish all the doing, all the effort. Invite the body to receive support from the earth below. Invite it to receive energy from the sky above. And invite it to be nurtured and nourished by the love within. Gently bring awareness back into the space around your heart. Feel the beat of your heart. That energy that in darkness and in light is always within you. The place where potential is born, where hope and curiosity and wonder are nurtured. Where compassion heals. Allow that energy of the space around your heart to expand as the breath begins to lengthen. Send that energy and that breath into the legs and all the way into the toes. Send that energy and expression into the shoulders, the arms, and the fingertips. And invite the body to find a full body stretch and a full round of breath, allowing that energy to move through you from the fingers to the toes and back again. And then in your own time, with as much ease as possible, guide yourself over to your favorite side into a fetal position. Hug the knees in and invite the heart to move in the direction of the earth, honoring that connection with nature, the roots that ground us. Consider here what you are ready to illuminate within you. Perhaps allow the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson guide that illumination. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside you. Allow that light that is inside you to rise with you back to a comfortable, easy seat. The hands find their way to heart center. And place gratitude in that space between the palms. Gratitude for your practice, for your body, for your breath, for the wholeness of nature, for the shadows and the darkness, and for the light. We'll gather one last breath and extinguish this flame that together we lit. Find a big inhale. Open mouth, let it go. Slowly flutter the eyes open. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sharing this practice with me, with one another, with yourself. My hope is that whatever that light felt like, you were able to connect with it and know that the wholeness of you, all the parts, is always there for you to tap into, and that it offers you ease and rest tonight and in this season of receptivity and allowing and creating inner warmth. Rest well every night, everyone. You are so, so welcome. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you have questions. It was really my delight and honor to get to practice with you this evening. Mwah.